Hello, welcome. This is the Resilient Rooster. I'm back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and this time I'm going to be showcasing True Dracos with a nice tech. Today's tech card is Amano-Iwato. So what this card does is monsters cannot activate their effects. This could be anywhere on the field, in the graveyard, in the hand. So the theory behind this card is you normal summon this and your opponent can't activate anything on your turn in terms of monster effects. And we basically run 3 of each card besides the Desires and the Masterpiece, and we just try to make our board without any interruptions. So this is the deck profile, and let's get started with the replays. Alright, in this first duel, I open up the Rock Monster, Card Demise, Organic Diagram, True Draco Heritage, and the Monarch's Erupt. So this is basically one of the best hands that you can get, since you open up the monster, meaning that they can't use hand traps. And you have the Monarch's Erupts, which makes it to where if you control no cards in your extra deck and you control attributed monsters, negate the effect of all face-up monsters on the field. And it lasts even when this card leaves the field until the end of your turn. So it's a pretty strong card. So let's get started. So I normal summon the Amano-Iwato, and then I just go off at this point and see what cards I can draw and try to make the most optimal play. So I'm trying to make it to where I can get at least some advantage during my opponent's turn and my own turn. So I tribute my own monster so I can draw 3 cards with True Draco Heritage, and I just popping up my monsters, and now I have a the Ignis, and the Amano-Iwato goes back to my hand since it's a spirit monster and it goes back to the end phase. So my opponent 1/1s, and I try to activate my effect. They go Soaker me, and I activated the Monarch's Erupt, which means that all of their effects are negated at this point. So I can just play on their turn basically, since once it comes back to my turn, if I make another tribute summon monster, then Monarch's Erupt is alive again. So at this point, I'm just trying to shuffle and draw. I could always use Organic Diagram to search a monster, which I could just use the True King's Return to return it back to my hand, or to the field. Sorry, and then I just tribute and get Masterpiece, and basically it's game at this point. Just so much advantage. Attack with Amano-Iwato and Masterpiece at 3150. One cool interaction is if this card gets destroyed, your spirit monster just stays since it was a normal summon that turn. So it's pretty cool. In this second replay, I'm playing against Spirals again, and I open up the Rock Monster, so I summon Amano-Iwato, Organic Diagram, destroy the Disciples so that I can use my True Draco Heritage to draw. I got Card Demise, and from Card Demise I got Power of Duality, and from all these I basically got enough cards to summon Masterpiece with just a spell and a monster. So at this point I turned my mediocre hand to a great hand, or a great field. My opponent used Super Ancient. I didn't want to use the warning since I just wanted to search and just risk it and see if he could get my card choices right. So he got it right at this point, but I just destroyed the double helix. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have mattered since they drew Masterpiece or Master Plan, and at that point it was basically over. In this third game, I didn't open up a very good hand, but I did open up the Monarch's Erupt, which basically helps me stun the opponent since I can activate it and my opponent's monster's effects will be negated. So they activate the Tough, I activate the Maiden, and then I activate the Monarch's Erupt, which basically makes this monster a vanilla. And at this point, all I have to do is just try to make the most optimal play. So I basically just destroy or tribute my heritage to destroy his face down, and then basically just attacked with all my monsters. My Amano-Iwato activates an effect, but it got negated. But at this point, I'm not sure if this play really did matter, since if they did try to summon that, I could maybe use the Ash. So at this point, they just summon the monster, but they can't do much with it. So the game is over. In this next duel, I didn't open up Amano-Iwato, or I didn't open up the Monarch's Erupt. So I had to hope my opponent didn't have any hand traps and that I could hopefully draw the cards I need. So with Organic Diagram, I was able to search True Draco Heritage to draw, and I drew the trap card, which makes it to where I can summon Masterpiece on my opponent's turn. So they activated Resort, I chained to get my masterpiece, and at this point I was feeling pretty confident. I have 2 ashes to stop the double helix. They droned, they used Spiral double helix, and I just ashed it, so it helped save from me dealing with master plan. So they stacked my deck, so they knew I had Maxi. So I think they summoned drone again to put Maxi somewhere else, since now that they know that they can't OTK me, Maxi will be kind of helpful for me. So they moved Maxi away. So I drew True Draco Heritage instead, and I basically tributed both of these cards to destroy the resorts. And with Masterpiece, I attacked the W Helix, and I used its effect to destroy the agent. So at this point, we were basically both top decking. We don't really have a lot of cards, but Spirals, they could basically go off with just 2 cards. So they top decked the resort, but fortunately Masterpiece was able to stop it. And now I finally drew the Maxi that they put at the end when they stacked it with drone, and my opponent conceded at this point. In this last replay, I didn't open up a good hand, but I did open up a hand to where I could tribute spells and traps to get Masterpiece on the field with the Monarch's Erupt. So what Monarch's Erupt is a skill drain for non-tribute monsters. So since my Masterpiece was tribute summoned, its effects aren't negated. So they try to activate the Spiral Super Agent to destroy a back roll, but activate Monarch's Erupt, so now monster's effects are negated. And I just summoned my Amano-Iwato, and I just basically attacked with Masterpiece. And at this point, the only way to out this Masterpiece is basically Kaiju, since monster effects are negated at this point. They try to go off with double drone. Drone can basically boost it up to where they become stronger, but the problem is my Masterpiece can just destroy it. The only way that this would work if they had Spiral Resort. If they had Spiral Resort, then I would be in trouble, since I can't target the one that was chosen. And then at this point, the game was almost over, since they only had 200 life points left. And the True Draco Apocalypse is set, so they could distribute on this turn. So I used the True Draco Apocalypse, I tributed it, and I summoned Maiden. Maiden gets its effect to search, and Masterpiece basically destroys the resort. So they tried to summon, they got it wrong, and at this point they just crashed and suicided. And that's it. That's it for the replays. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you want to follow my channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a great day.